Calvin has, I just have such a sweet sort of soft spot in my heart for Calvin, because you were the first realtor to join our team. He's the first realtor to join our team. He was the youngest realtor to join our team. And he also has a really inspiring story, which I actually even talked about in my TED Talk.
I remember that, yeah. I was very grateful to hear about myself a little bit more on your TED Talk there too. So yeah, it's been a crazy journey. I can't believe it's been, what, 3-4 years now?
Yes.
And I remember it was just me and you just sitting there at 4 p.m. there, just doing real estate. And now we've grown into this like crazy team there. So it's just unbelievable to kind of see all the things happened over the last couple of years.
Over the last 4 years. Calvin, so you came on board when it was just you, me, Greg.
Oh yeah.
And we had a little office.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, we would show up at the office and we would just grind, right? We would grind things out.
Yeah, and I remember when I first started too, it was it was just when I was purchasing my house from you, I think. When I was selling my condo, that's how I met you in the beginning there. Yeah. And I was still working at the hospital back then, and I wanted to sell the house, upgrade, or sell the condo that I had back then, and upgrade into a house then. And then after upgrading into a house, I realized how fun real estate really could be there. And
totally.
I had this mindset where I was only supposed to work at this hospital job that I was groomed for. So I worked there for probably 3.5-4 years, and I spent another 4 years going through school and going through I kind of like going through other different jobs to build up the experience to get the hospital job. Right. And I remember when you texted me that you should come and do real estate with me, I was smiling, I was smirking. I know this was never gonna happen because I'm not brave enough to do this here. And I took a screenshot of it, and I still have it. And I sent it all to my friends being like, ha ha ha, that would be funny, hey guys. But here I am now, and I'm 4 years in, like, you know, a few deals in, and
a few deals. I think more than a few deals in.
A little bit more than that there. But it's just been a wild journey from just starting off, having all these doubts in my mind.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Why did you feel stuck at that job?
Oh yeah, so I remember when I first got it was a government job, a hospital job there, so I was a clinical analyst at that point. And in government, there's so many different departments and branches that gets broken up there, and you get confined to this one small little role, to the point where, wow, 30 years of just button pressing this, because there was no problems. If there was no problem solving there. And the biggest problem I had at the end of the day was what I was going to have for dinner, and I didn't want my life to be confined into that there. And
so monotony. I'm hearing monotony.
Yes.
I'm hearing also a cap on your potential. Like, it sounds like you felt like you had more potential than just showing up and doing that same thing over and over again.
Well, it was not even the potential portion I was thinking about. It was more the problem solving there. There was no problem solving that I could have been doing at that job there. And then then I decided, okay, well, I always have 2 jobs throughout my career there. It's either I was a waiter or I was working at the hospital, and I was doing both at the same time. I was like, you know what, maybe I can do real estate on the side there. And then after a couple of months later, the real estate job started becoming my full-time job.
Yeah,
and then
you were super passionate about it.
It was just that moment when I realized there's these quotes that all these people put on the internet saying that you're never gonna feel like you're working if you enjoy your job there. And it kind of hit me at that moment. And that's kind of how I got invested so heavily and made real estate my my full-time job at this point here.
I love that. Yeah. Okay, so you take the plunge, you take the leap, you totally go off into a career. Did you even tell your parents? I feel like I remember you didn't even want to tell your parents.
Well, so here's the thing, like so they don't speak English, and they barely still make their way past, you know, the checkout aisle in the grocery store there, with their English. But so they moved into this new country to give me and my brother a opportunity. I knew I was gonna do, at that point I knew I was gonna do well in real estate there. How well I don't know, but I knew that it could, that this is what I'm passionate about, and I can still afford groceries at the end of the day.
Right.
So I decided to make the leap. I just could not tell them. I told them I took a sabbatical, but I can always go back in 3 months, and then 3 months later rolls along.
Right.
And they just never mentioned about the hospital job anymore, because I kept on telling them, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, and they seen how passionate I was. And finally, I told them, hey, I think I'm gonna leave. Do you think that's okay? And they were a little bit more. I eased them into it a little bit more. So hopefully they don't see this. But thanks, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Calvin's Mom and Dad. He's a realtor and a really darn good one. That's hilarious. Okay, so I want to talk about your investment, because you, even before this leap of faith, like, you're a risk taker. You saved up every penny you earned from what, the age of what, 16?
16, 17, yeah.
16, and then to how long, 20?
Probably till I was just before I turned 20, yeah.
Okay, so he works 2 jobs in high school, saves every penny he earns, takes that money and buys a condo at the age of 19.
I did, yeah. So it's funny that you mentioned that there. So I remember working my first job when I was 16 years old as a waiter there. So I saved up so the strategy was saving up all my tips and spending only my paychecks there. And so I did that, and after, by the age I hit, I think just before I hit 20 there, I was able to save up roughly around $35,000, and then I was able to purchase a condo. But the thing is about that $35,000 that I don't tell a lot of people is that I actually didn't have the intention of purchasing a condo. I had the intention of purchasing a car back in 2011, 2012.
Okay, right.
And so that intention, but then I knew that if I took all this money and I bought a car, my parents were gonna kill me. So I decided, what's something that they would be proud of me for doing, and then I can go purchase a car there. So I purchased a condo instead there. So I purchased a condo with my $35,000 down, which is around like 10% there.
Right.
And I got possession of that condo there, and then 3 months later, I went to go buy a stupid car.
Well, still, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And so I think that one thing that I love about working with you, like, you saw the investment value right away. So we had a really good kind of, I feel like a good rapport, because we were always like, you were like hungry for investment advice and how to get rolling. Which was amazing, especially at your age. And now, and you start your career. So you're passionate about transferring that to people. And I feel like people see that in you. Like, they see you calculating numbers, they see you figuring out investments, and then trying to help them do that, the same thing. You walk the talk, but you also are passionate about helping people do it.
I am, yeah, and I get so excited talking to people, like especially millennials around my age there, that if I can do it, you can do it. And there's nothing special that I did. I didn't win the lottery. My parents still work at a grocery store there, and it's not like I came from money or anything there, but I was able to, upgrade from working this a waiter job and working as a analyst, making just a little bit over 18 bucks an hour on my first real big boy job there. And I was able to translate that into a condo, and then I was able to upgrade that condo into a house afterwards there, and that's kind of where we met there. I was thinking about selling the condo and purchasing a home and upgrading my investment there, and then we got to chatting, and eventually that happened. By the time I hit, I think 22, that's when I bought my the house there, and I rented and I ended up renting the up and the downstairs out there for a while living as cheaply as I possibly can. And then so I went the condo first. I purchased the condo, then I sold the condo a couple of years later, and I was able to upgrade into a home. Eventually ended up succeeding, and that was just full with real estate there. It was just my real estate career, nothing to do with the hospital job or anything like that there. And it's been a wild roller coaster there, and I just want to tell people, it's not hard. It does take a little bit of elbow grease and it's a little bit of work there, but with the right mindset, if you can just have the discipline just to save money, you don't need to make a lot of money. You just need to be having the discipline to save money there. You don't need to go out and eat every single day there, and
it's not forever. You don't have to tighten your belt forever. You just have to do it for a short period of time, get invested, and then you're good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So and I want to deliver that message to every young person out there.
Calvin, tell your Subway story.
Okay. Oh, my Subway story. I remember this. I was just so, I was so goal driven there that every time I would even go into a Subway, I would look at the menu and I would think, I would look at the beefsteak. I remember I always wanted the beefsteak, the 1 foot beefsteak there, and I threw in all the veggies. And I think it was like $8.49 at that time there. Then I look at the cheaper side, and it was the 6-inch cold cut for $4.59. I still remember the prices, and I'm just thinking, is me coming to Subway here at this moment gonna further my goal? Well, yes, I need to eat something there. So I determined that going into Subway was to get energy to continue to work there. But I told myself, do I really need the $8.49 beef steak sandwich? Or can I just survive with the 6-inch cold cut that I can get there with whatever free veggies I can get, with no extra cheese, just whatever they gave me there.
Right,
I never asked for anything.
Basics.
And that triggered, and that helped me kind of to save a little bit more money. It was $4 saved every time I had, and wanting to spend more money there. I don't, and I would feel a little bit more accomplished because it almost feels like I'm saving that money because I was gonna spend that money,
right?
But then I ended up saving that money, and it kind of over the years it added up there. It's not glorious, it's not glamorous. Nobody's gonna give you a reward every single day for choosing, for skipping out on the $4 there.
Right.
But all those little habits there and that mindset kind of helped me build and saved up for that moment to be able to purchase into real estate there. And now I still have the same mindset. I'm just trying to break out of it a little bit more, but
now it's like treat yourself, Kevin.
a little bit more there. Yes, yeah.
Awesome. So I think that gives everybody a really great idea. Can you tell us what is your life like now that you went into real estate? Is this the career you hoped it would be when you made the switch?
Absolutely, yeah. So going into real estate, I didn't really think too much about it there because I was just so concerned about am I gonna be able to give the proper advice to people there? Am I gonna make an impact on somebody's lives there? Because I remember going into real estate at first, I made sure I saved enough money to never be backed into the corner where I have to give the wrong advice just so I can sell these folks at home so I'm able to pay my rent.
That commission breath, right? So you never want to be pushing something on someone that's not right for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have that. So I was so focused on making sure I built enough of a war chest first so I can have that not luxury, but I think that the fiduciary duty as realtors are supposed to have to give that advice. So I was so worried about that I really didn't know what to expect going into the industry there. I know it was going to be a lot of hard work. I know it's going to be a lot of objections, which I'm fine with there. But now going back to it, I'm seeing that I just didn't realize how many hours there were in a day that I can actually do things because I've always worked 2 jobs.
Right.
So I always worked anywhere from 10 to 13 hours a day there. So my times would be very strategic. I would have lunch here, I would have lunch there. I would only have this one day to hang out with friends. If nobody wants to hang out with me, then that would be my only time to kind of for myself there. And so now that I'm in real estate, I'm a little bit better at setting my own schedules there. My time is a little bit more free, so I can spend a little bit more time taking more lessons, enjoying my days a little bit more.
Wow.
And I found that very valuable because the more work that I do, the more tired I get. And the more tired I get, it reflects on the realtor I am with my clients, and I realize that's not great. And my clients deserve better than this tired out, person that's been working 13 hours a day there. So I found the more time that I can take for myself, which I found very helpful, the more refreshed I get and the more energized I get, especially for my clients.
Totally.
And it's the one difficult thing is just setting a schedule for myself, waking up at a specific time, because the thing is working as a real estate agent or a self-employed there, you set a schedule for yourself, and if you wake up at 9 or if you wake up at 1 p.m. in the afternoon there, nobody's gonna yell at you, but that kind of habit translates way down the road there. So you're not gonna see an effect now. It's just like, I think of it as brushing your teeth. You brush your teeth once, you smile, you don't see an effect there. But if you stop brushing your teeth, you're gonna slowly see your teeth decaying there. And I kind of think that's the same way that if I don't set a schedule for myself to work, I'm gonna start seeing this, not right now, but probably in a couple months later. So having that discipline to continue working, not knowing if that translates.
Totally, and I think we do know that, you know, when we look at all the successful agents, and we spend a lot of time studying the agents that are doing well in this business, and we spend a lot of time even as a team looking at and networking and masterminding with agents who have seen a lot of success, and we know what their habits are, and we've implemented a lot of them ourselves. Like, we know that an agent that isn't working a specific amount of hours per week is just not going to see certain results. We know that if you're not making a certain number of calls, you're just not going to see results.
Exactly.
So I think that, you know, success leaves clues, and I think that's something you've picked up on very quickly, is like, I want to go out there and I want to build the habits of successful people.
Yeah, and that's the thing there too. And the one thing I told myself is that I'm just gonna blindly continue doing this, what other successful people are doing there, and we'll reevaluate in a year there. I'm not gonna get discouraged if I've been doing this for a week and I see no success there.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I found a lot of successful people have done too. They grinded through it, they did all of this, and they don't see success, but one of these days it will hit you. And that's kind of what I was kind of in the back of my mind. I just put my head down. I just did what everybody told me that was going to help me in my career. And it definitely translated there. I can tell you that there.
That's awesome. If you could leave everybody with one thing, what one piece of advice would you give an agent in your position? So somebody who's at a job, they feel like this is something they would really love to do, but they're scared to take the leap. What advice would you give that person?
If you're passionate about something there, you're gonna spend time digging and being and understanding every little intricate thing about that type of business, regardless it's in real estate or renovating or anything like that. If you are passionate about that, you will be you will be able to research things. You're gonna be, you will one day, not right now, but probably be one of the best in your field, because you have such a passion for that there.
Totally.
And that skill set and desire of yours there, people are able to see it. So no matter what you do, if it's art, if it's real estate, if it's engineering or building cars there, if you have that passion that's greater than everybody else that's just going to their 9-to-5 job, you will be more successful than those people. You won't see it right now, but I guarantee you will see it in the future there. And I think that is the number one thing that I would tell anybody there that are afraid of leaving their jobs. Be the best that you could be at that career, and it will translate to something magnificent.
I love that. I love that. So nice to see you, Calvin. Thanks so much.
You too. Thanks for having me there. It's been great chatting about my experience with you guys, and Totally. Thank you so much for sharing. Everybody, if you have any questions about leaving your job, about starting a career that maybe feels scary but you're excited about, this is the guy to get in touch with. Calvin can firsthand share his experiences with you and show you, or at least tell you, what it felt like for him to take that big leap and plunge. So thanks, Calvin. Thank you, and thank you, everybody.